Hey everybody, Knox here with the American Suppressor Association. I'm joined today by ASA General Counsel Michael Williams. Michael, how you doing, man?
Doing well, Knox. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. In Washington State, House Bill 1240 was signed into law on April 25th. Can you give us a little bit of background on what that legislation does and how that could potentially impact suppressors?
Absolutely. So, yes, like you said, unfortunately, that bill was signed into law. That makes Washington State the 10th state, plus DC, to ban assault weapons. It's a one-factor test, so any semi-automatic rifle that has the capacity to accept a detached magazine plus any one of several features listed would become an assault weapon, and therefore be the purchase or transfer of that firearm would be prohibited by this law. It does grandfather in folks who have currently owned assault weapons, so it's not going to be at this point any sort of confiscation issue. But one of the major downsides for suppressor owners in the state of Washington is that a threaded barrel or a suppressor itself are both listed as components that would turn a semi-automatic rifle into an assault weapon and therefore prohibit that purchase. That also applies to pistols with the threaded barrel or the suppressor attached. So, we want to make sure we let everybody know that suppressors are very much still legal in the state of Washington. But on a going forward basis, there's a lot fewer firearm possibilities that you can attach your suppressor to. It doesn't affect bolt guns. It doesn't affect rimfire. So that's positive. So a lot of your bolt action guns are good to go. But for those semi-automatics, you won't be able to purchase a new semi-automatic rifle with a threaded barrel anymore in the state of Washington.
It seems like a pretty wild and unconstitutional overstep by the government there in Washington State. What plans are there in terms of litigation in that state?
Couldn't agree more. I think the governor likely knows that this is unlikely to be upheld as constitutional. However, they're proceeding anyway. We are working with some other industry groups and Second Amendment groups to figure out how best we can participate in a challenge to this law, because completely agree. ASA, it's our take that this is unconstitutional and a serious overstep, and we hope to be a part of whatever solution is out there that can get this thing overturned.
Well, that's fantastic, man. Well, Michael, I think that's all that we've got today. Some good news on the Illinois front, some bad news on the Washington front, but for everybody out there, we're going to do everything that we can to continue to fight for y'all's rights. Anything else, Michael?
That's it. Thanks so much for having me on.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
As a nonprofit, our job is to fight for your rights, and we could not do it without your support. Your membership and your donations fund our fights in Washington, D.C. and in state capitals across the country. I promise that the American Suppressor Association will not stop fighting until suppressors are removed from the National Firearms Act and are legal to own in all 50 states. Help us protect your right to protect your hearing by making sure your membership in the American Suppressor Association is active. Visit us at asamember.com to join or renew today. That's asamember.com.